What's up, everybody? Almost got hit by that car. Welcome back to the Game Channel. My name's AJ Gels. How y'all doing? We are back with Yakuza Like a Dragon. Finally, I can play this game again while I have my voice.
Watch me.
Excuse me.
I got this.
I've just been running around doing sub-stories and everything. That last video that was, what, like 9 minutes long was... I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll finish up this chapter, then go run around and do a bunch of sub-stories or whatever, but then I ended up spending about 3 or 4 hours doing sub-stories, and thought, you know what, I gotta do something else. You're also seeing our new party member, because I didn't get to talk about her when it happened, but we have Eri on the team now. She is
Point of it all.
I don't know what to call it. Our assistant or contact, whatever, for the business running minigame. So apparently getting far enough added her to the party, which honestly pretty cool. I have a theory that if you complete all the things in at the movie theater, complete all the mini games, you can get the sheephead guys to join your party. Again, theory, and if I'm wrong or right, don't tell me. I'd rather not know. I'd rather experience it myself. There we go. Bit my tongue a little bit. Excuse me. Sorry.
My friend's got some questions about the day I was dumped in this town.
Is that a cigarette on a toothpick?
I want to know why you didn't just abandon Ichiban or dump him at a hospital. If you don't mind telling us, I'm sure we'd all appreciate it.
Yeah, it's on a tooth. That's really odd.
I see. Fine. I'll tell you. It's as good a time as any.
What?
There's an old tradition in this homeless camp. A responsibility passed down through the chiefs for many years.
What responsibility?
On occasion, when we're asked, we dispose of bodies.
What?
Bodies?
Yeah. There's a Yakuza family from Kamurocho who pays us to do it. They're called Arakawa.
Arakawa? Seriously? They, was this going on while they were still Tojo?
I don't know every detail, but yes. The arrangement existed at that time.
I mean, Ichiban, why are you surprised? You're gangsters.
We've dealt with all kinds of bodies, whether they've been shot, stabbed, beaten, no matter how nasty. We dug holes and buried them under garbage. Who knows how many are there now? Back during the bubble, we got one every month. Or so I was told. Since I became chief, there's only been 3.
Damn. Arakawa the assassin.
But there's one more secret rule. It applies to anyone the Arakawa bring here alive.
A secret within the secret. Great.
What happens if they bring someone alive?
We're supposed to give the person medical aid, then let them go free, while pretending they're dead.
What's up with that?
In the criminal underworld, there's always people wanting to fake their own death. Gamblers, guys on the run, anyone who's afraid someone will hurt them. They send people like that here, and we honor the secret agreement. I think it might actually be a service the Arakawa family provides, but obviously they don't advertise it. So it ended up being a very rare event.
Is that agreement why you saved me? This live body rule?
You got it.
What sort of guy dropped me off here?
I mean, probably just someone from the family. I had no reason to check or anything. The guy lugged you out of the trunk of a car. You were covered in blood. He paid me and left. Didn't say a single thing the whole time.
I'm sorry, Ichi. You have to die. I'm counting on you, Ichi.
What the? After Arakawa-san shot me, I think he said something. I think it was, I'm counting on you, Ichi.
What would that even mean?
No clue. But the more I think about it, the more I'm sure he said that.
Look, Ichiban.
What?
I don't want to dash your hopes or anything. When you were dumped here, you were on death's doorstep. You're only alive because everything I did went exactly the way we needed it to. But it could have easily gone a different way. I know you want to trust Arakawa, but...
It was a gamble.
Arakawa-san had to shoot me. All the other Yakuza at that meeting were watching him.
Huh?
Never mind. You don't get it. Forget I said anything.
Yeah, it was a gamble. He was hoping that Ichiban would live through it, get there, and somehow do what he's doing now. Time to go to Heian Tower, lunch with Chairman Hoshino, yada yada yada. You know, I know I've said it multiple times in this LP, but Jesus Christ, I love this character. I love Ichiban. This is just such a cool direction that they went with this franchise. They've built this lore, these families, all of this stuff. I mean, granted, Yakuza... I'm trying to remember. I know Yakuza, the video game franchise, which I believe is actually called Like a Dragon or something like that. The translated Japanese title. It's not Yakuza in Japan. It's something different. It's whatever. I believe it was based off of a TV series, or loosely based. I'm not sure exactly how much. Again, I'm kind of remembering some old articles I read. Either way, they've built this world, the Tojo, the Omi Alliance, all this stuff, you know, Kazuma Kiryu, Mad Dog Majima. They do all this stuff. They go through 7 freaking games. I mean, this series, like it or hate it, Yakuza is really just kind of an icon within video games. Or no, did I say once they go 7 games? Technically, they go 6. Yeah. Well, no, 7 if you include Yakuza 0. Yeah, so 7. So, you know, they go all these games with Kazuma, like I said, Majima, all these characters that we've grown to know and love. They make the spin-off series with Judgment, then also launched Judgment, oh shit, what's the sequel's name? I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I plan on playing it. You know, they make those 2 games, and along with that, they decide, hey, you know what? Let's go back to the mainline franchise with an entirely new cast of characters. Yeah, there's going to be references to the original games, to the original series, but really, it takes place after the Yakuza games. It's a new character who's almost a polar opposite from Kazuma. I love Kazuma. I love the stoic, whatever character of Kazuma Kiryu. Yeah, he had his goofy bits in the sub-stories and whatnot, but, you know, in the actual main story, Kazuma is very stoic and very, very serious. And then they bring in this guy with Ichiban, who's very upfront with you, wears his kind of his heart on his sleeve, so to speak. You know, you know what he's thinking. He's just a very straightforward guy, goofy, emotive, all this stuff. And not only that, we completely changed the combat system. It goes from being a traditional action game, just to a pure beat 'em up, to a turn-based RPG, turn-based party-based RPG. So now the main cast isn't just your one guy you're following. You also have his cohorts. You know, Ryuga Gotoku, I took such a massive risk with this title. I do not get where they got the balls to do that, but I respect the shit out of them for doing it. I feel like I had something to add there. Like I was like brewing a thought along with that thought that I just kind of got out. But yeah, man, like I said, I gotta give the studio something for just deciding, hey, we're gonna just change fucking everything and still make a game of this quality. Or still make a game that you could play and go, oh yeah, that's Yakuza, right? That's definitely a Yakuza game.
I got this. I am secret. Give me a bullseye.
Don't hit the slightly... Yep, hit the damaged guy. Fantastic.
Okay. Have fun with this.
You sure you want to get hurt?
Hoping to get more people.
Check this out.
Jeez, I can't get that last guy. I really love Jungi Han. I love his combat style. Gonna dip in here, grab a bite to eat real quick.
Me? Delicious tea.
Yeah, I think that thought that I kind of forgot earlier, I think it had something to do with the whole, just how they're overtly referencing, like, Dragon Quest and stuff like that, you know? I mean, that scene where Yakuza, where Kasuga pulled that that metal bat out of the ground was so funny. And that's when everything started, like, transforming and changing, where it became like a Dragon Quest game. It's so dumb, yet they found a way to make it work and still feel like a Yakuza game. Love it.
You sure you don't mind treating me?
What? Are you actually able to pay?
Wish I could, but I don't think they'd take this.
You don't sound like you're gonna relax during this meal.
Depends on what you say. Hopefully I'll relax enough to enjoy the duck. So, how do you know Arakawa-san? I'm on the edge of my seat here.
It wasn't long after the war the counterfeit bills started being produced in Ijincho. It was top secret. Only the heads of the Seiryu clan and the Liumang, plus some officers, knew about it. Outside of that inner circle, they also had to hire people to smuggle the bills.
Smugglers?
And one of them was a traveling actor. His name was Toshio Arakawa. He was Masumi Arakawa's father.
What?
One day, he came to us saying he lost an entire suitcase filled with 100 mil in fake yen. No excuse in the world could have saved him. A mistake that grave required the Seiryu clan to make an example out of him for the other smugglers. But remember, only a few people at the top even knew about the counterfeiting. It wasn't a task they could hand to just anybody. So I being next in line to inherit the clan, was entrusted to carry it out.
So did you... You actually...
Yes. I killed Toshio Arakawa, father of Masumi Arakawa, in this very place 40 years ago. But I had no idea who was in the room with my target. By the time I learned it was his 14-year-old son, it was too late. I had to go through with the hit, knowing this boy would see his father die. To make my guilt even worse, later I found out why Toshio lost the fake bills. His wife and her lover had stolen them. Those two fell into the ocean and disappeared. Their corpses were never even found.
So Arakawa-san lost both his parents, one after the other.
And his only other friends, the theater troupe, disbanded soon after without their leader. Masumi Arakawa became a drifter, along with a few other actors. They couldn't trust anyone, so what other path was there for them, except becoming Yakuza in Kamurocho?
Okay, so it's nice to get some context around the opening scene of this game. I was kind of wondering what was going on with that, like when we were actually gonna get some connection.
Arakawa joined a low-ranking family in the Tojo clan called the Hikawa family. Life wasn't easy for him there. They were the kind of family that took hits without thinking twice.
Really?
Yes. So they were always in need of ways to dispose of a body. Masumi Arakawa was tapped to help with that, and he was extremely cautious. To do it, he started coming all the way to the homeless camp in Ijincho.
Really? Even though the family was based in Tokyo? Why?
Well, truthfully, he wanted an excuse to come to Yokohama, because it would afford him opportunities to hunt his father's killer.
I see. So Arakawa-san was using the homeless camp to dispose of bodies all the way back then.
Indeed. As for his hunt, he researched Yakuza and criminals every time he was here. All he started with was a single clue. His own childhood memory of the suspicious waiter he saw here that night. Eventually, 7 years after the murder, I received an invitation to come here. He signed his invitation Masumi Arakawa. It was a bold declaration, and I knew immediately the running would be futile. So I came here, alone. I didn't even bring a bodyguard.
Why the hell not?
Well, to put it simply, I was prepared to die.
But, I mean...
In this line of work, there are no good ways to die. And I can think of worse ways to go that would not give that boy the justice he'd earned. The memory of what I'd done to him never left me, you know. It was always like a small bone stuck in my throat. He was sitting right where you are now.
Here?
Yes. He didn't look a day over 20. But his eyes had that hard, flinty gaze of an old killer. I couldn't help myself. I told him everything. I told him why I killed Toshio Arakawa. I even told him about the secret counterfeiting. I figured I was dead anyway. He had a gun in his hand, and all he had to do was pull the trigger. But he never once interrupted me. When I'd finished, he slowly stood up. I stopped him as he turned to leave. "Didn't you come here for revenge?" I asked.
And? What did he say?
He said, If only you had ignored my invitation. Then I could have shot you in the back. Then he left.
Boss.
In 1984, the 10,000 yen bill changed from the face of Prince Shotoku to Yukichi Fukuzawa. By that time, Arakawa had found his own Yakuza family. So I sent him a gift.
What was it?
A fresh batch of crisp fake bills featuring Yukichi Fukuzawa. They were defective prints with nothing on the back. Not exactly legal tender.
Then how was that a gift?
It's hard to explain. If I had to say, it was out of gratitude.
Sure, but for what?
I should have died that day I met with Arakawa. That would have been right. And yet he spared me. Not only that, but he lifted a terrible weight from my chest. Furthermore, it's not an exaggeration to say the equilibrium among the Ijin Three continues to this day because of him.
Wow.
I owe him an unfathomable debt. And one day, I must pay it back. The defective bills were how I chose to communicate the sentiment. The counterfeiting secret is Ijincho's weakness. And it was only thanks to Arakawa that the Ijin Three could continue to secretly wield that power. But of course, that means if he ever feels like it was a mistake to let me live, he can use the fake bills to unravel everything I've built. The gift wasn't the bills themselves. They were leverage. I actually wrote something on the back to that effect. Neither justice nor mercy should tip the scale. It means that those in power must reward and punish where necessary. I felt it was an appropriate message. I suppose the writing is faded at this point.
Whoa. So that's the whole story.
Up till this moment. But now I'm sitting across from a man holding one of those fake bills. Which, of course, is a message from Arakawa that only I could understand. The message is, Masumi Arakawa sees you as a beloved family member.
Arakawa-san thinks of me as family.
He would not have placed that bill in your pocket lightly. Do you see its significance now? After everything I've told you? There is almost no doubt in my mind that Arakawa did not want you killed. So he didn't shoot you out of malice. He shot you so that you would be brought here, be saved by the homeless, and eventually meet up with me. Do you see? That's everything I can tell you.
That's plenty. Thank you, Chairman. I see it all now. I always kind of figured.
You did? Well, it's your move now. I've only told you what I know, so...
It's okay. That's enough. I trust you.
Well, I don't hear that often.
Yeah, neither do I. Not even from my friends. But those friends are trustworthy to me. And so are you. I believe everything you said. And my faith in Arakawa-san is coming back strong.
Kasuga,
Yeah?
are you a blood relative of Arakawa's?
No, it's not like that.
I see. Well, he must have been happy to have such loyalty as yours. proud as any father, I think.
Okay, I'm actually really surprised that nobody ended up getting shot in that scene. I really expected the waiter to walk in and shoot Hoshino, and I was gonna cry because fuck, I love Hoshino after just that, like, that conversation. I mean, he was cool all the way through, but holy shit, man, just that scene alone was great. Oh, so good. I mean, it's almost from every aspect, man. I mean, it's just two guys sitting in a room, but the writing, the dialogue, the performance, everything was exactly where it needed to be. I know some people would say, AJ, there's really not a lot of emotion or whatever going on in there, but I don't think it would have been right for that scene. This is a scene out of old school gangster movies. You know, it's a boss of a family talking to a foot soldier. You know, talking about how the trust, and again, I'd say love, quote unquote. You know, it's an old school look of family and manliness, and it's very stoic and hard, but it's soft in its own way. I'm probably making no goddamn sense right now, but I just fucking loved that scene. I thought the actor for Hoshino just killed it. The writing was great. I mean, man, credit to the writers. I mean, they're able to continue to come up with all these master interwoven narratives for all these games. I mean, the Yakuza franchise has so many twists, turns, betrayals, and whatnot. I mean, it constantly keeps you going. Okay, I want the next piece of the puzzle. I want to unravel more and more of this web of interconnecting characters and powers and everything. It always culminates with just a big battle and fire and blowing up shit and people hitting each other. It's awesome. Fuck yeah. Oh, sorry. As you can see, I fucking love it, man. I do. I'm just rambling here. We're gonna close out here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Social media is in the description as always. Like, comment, not already. Please subscribe to the channel and pop back in next time and see where we go from here. Until then, my name's AJ Kells. This is Some of the Game Channel. I'm out.